This is football for Mpumalanga Black Aces in the Premier Soccer League in South Africa. And another look at that wonderful save from Mustafa. Limpigan Mzava, still a very young man, and finding himself captaining the national team of Malawi. Made his debut as a teenager. I think he was 17 years old when he, in fact, he was 16 years old when he made his debut for Malawi.
With the problems that the Malawian goalkeeper Ntala has been having, you could see with that first attempt to make a save, he makes the block, but he turns away from the action, which is a crime in football for a goalkeeper, particularly if you turn away from the direction of the ball. And from there, he had no clue where the ball was. That, for me, is very elementary for a goalkeeper at this level.
So, man who's down there is the Tanzanian captain, Narib Harub Ali, who's had a bad landing there, and will go off. But looks like nothing too serious, so the skipper will be able to continue.
Defensively, Tanzania went to sleep completely there, allowing the number 7 of Malawi to sneak in front of them, and very unlucky because he turned that ball. All he needed to do was just redirect it towards goal. There was enough power, but great work from the goalkeeper once again.
Now then, chance for Malawi to attack, working it wide with Kaira, Chimango Kaira. The ball there now, Yamkami Forja. Looking to build out of the back here. This will run out of play for a throw into the Taifa Stars of Tanzania. Picture is that man Kunadi Shumaka Kuwadi, one of the 2 changes made by Ernest Mtawali to this afternoon's hit away from the Forja, the distinctive Forja, sporting the big afro. Skipper back up and running and makes it the challenge there on Gerald Piri Jr.
The story goes that his father played in Zim football. That's why he's the junior, because he's the son of another great in the game.
Appeals there for a handball, waved away. It's a corner here for the home side. Early opportunity now. They need to try and get themselves back into the game by pulling a goal back. Just a reminder that they trail 2-0 from the first leg. So Tanzania doing the job, and also most importantly keeping a clean sheet at home. So the pressure is on Malawi. They have to make all the early running and try and pull a goal back as early as possible. Goal kick then from Ali Mustafa Tinge. Just to familiarize you with how the qualifying format for this 2018 FIFA World Cup will work from an African perspective. We currently here have 26 teams who have been paired to make 13 fixtures, and they will play each other. They play each other home and away to produce 13 winners. That is from the preliminary round, qualifying round 1. Then we go into preliminary qualifying round 2, where the 13 winners will join the 27 seeded teams to make 40 teams, and they will be paired then against each other to produce 20 winners, who will then go into the group. That is the qualifying proper now. 4 groups of 5, or should I say 5 groups of 4, to produce 5 winners who will qualify for Russia 2018. So it's a long, long journey to get to Russia 2018 for the African sides.
I can tell you, Titi, for many, I'm sure, it'll be a little bit confusing as well. Just at some stage, I also got caught in the same process of not being able to remember that now this is the World Cup qualifier. Remember, the Nations qualifiers are going on at the same time, and immediately there's also the Chan, which luckily doesn't involve the foreign teams. It's only the local-based teams that will feature in that one.
The local-based players.
Local-based players, that's it.
Referee Martins, Elder de Cavallo Martins from Angola, in charge this afternoon. Catching challenge there by Said Juma. Going in hard there on Chimango Kaira. So it's a free kick. Floated into the box. I can tell you that Malawi do have Kabadinho Mahango, the Bloemfontein Celtic striker. He is back, but he starts this game on the bench. He's been struggling with injuries. As there could be a chance on a miss. Oh, a timely interception there as John Panda was readying himself to take a shot there. But Malawi are still without influential Robert Ngambi. They also have Chukepi Msowoya, of course, in the starting lineup. Chukepo from Orlando Pirates, man, now back with big bullets. What a shot! Oh, and another great save from Ali Mustafa. Danger not gone yet. Comfortably collected again by the keeper. Brilliant work in goal here from Ali Mustafa.
Indeed, take it into account, Titi, that he might have seen the ball very late. You could see from the reaction that it's something that just happened suddenly, but he got a good hand to turn it off into the side before it hit the upright. Well, that will go a long way in helping to boost his confidence. Is Mtinge. I can imagine right now, this is what they need. They need a goalkeeper to keep them in the game. Remember, it's 2-0, but a 1-goal change to it will make a big difference. The pressure, of course, will be on the visitors, but it'll go a long way in helping Malawi maybe play more positively.
Now then, Gerald Piri Jr. working it wide. Stopped in his track there was Mishu Mohone, man who recently made his debut for Jomo Cosmos in the South African Premier Soccer League. Having impressed during the COSAFA tournament, he's now got himself a contract with Jomo Cosmos. Challenge there on Kuwali, Schumacher Kuwali. The great Formula One driver Michael Schumacher, who of course suffered a horrible injury in a skiing accident that still struggling to get back to full recovery. We were a free kick here meantime though, on the edge of the box. On the edge of the... That was a wonderful save there from Ali Mustafa.
Yundani actually ducked out of that ball because I'm sure the power that was behind that shot was...
Yeah, last thing you need from your defenders as well in that situation is a defender to turn his back on a shot like that. Or as you said, ducking out of the way. This is the foul that leads to the free kick. Yondani committing the foul. So this is definitely within striking range. Opportunity for Mzava, perhaps, and I see also Gerald Piri Jr. standing off it as the left-footed player. Would it be Mzava? Or instead it's Gerald Piri Jr. That's a poor free kick. What a waste from a very promising position for Malawi's Flames.
Concern maybe that if he puts too much power, that ball might just balloon over the bar. But still, you gotta hit it such that if it just in case it goes through, at least you have a chance to beat the goalkeeper. That was very lame and lazy.
Well, it's a it's a situation where Malawi are facing a situation where they need to win by 3 goals here. In fact, they have to win today. But most importantly, they also have to stop Tanzania from getting another goal, because it will be the count as an away goal. So 3-0 is the job that they need to do here. Running into trouble, the referee saw nothing wrong with the challenge there on Thomas Ulimwengu. The Mazembe man, he stayed down. Well, already Malawi are warming up the player. Two players down, and the other being Thomas Ulimwengu, TP Mazembe man. Concern for the bench of Tanzania, where Charles Makwasa then in charge. There's Ernest Mtawali, known as Wire in his days as a player. What a player he was as well. Making his way off is Ulimwengu. This is not something that the Tanzanian coach will want to see. Such a key man together with Bwana Samata, the two Mazembe men. TP Mazembe, of course, have been qualifying for the CAF Champions League final.
Well, I think temporarily Malawi will have to reshuffle their game around now with Mzava still being treated. And that will basically take the sting out of their game as far as going forward is concerned. Just to maybe hold it up until the decision is taken whether it stays or doesn't come back into the field of play.
Play continuing here. We've got a throw in for Tanzania. Kapombe it was then. There is that man Ulimwengu. Scored, of course, in that first leg on Thursday in Dar es Salaam, along with Samata. It's another ambitious effort from a long, long way out. Needing to go for goals this afternoon to Malawi. Certainly need to. Could be a chance here. Coach Tawali making 3 changes, including Sowoya being included in the starting lineup. The situation stays at 0-0, the more it will suit Tanzania. It's going to force Malawi to open up, and they will be vulnerable to getting hit, of course, with that sucker punch. kick then from Gerald Piri Jr. Just takes a massive bounce on this artificial surface. Take a look at this as how it bounces as it lands. Look at that.
In fact, that is always a challenge playing into this kind of field. Yes, it might be all even and the roll of the ball is good, but the bounce certainly is very abnormal.
Very unpredictable as well.
Yeah.
Now then, Malawi on attack. Gerald Piri Jr. looking to combine there with Chiukepu Msoboya. Great turn there from Samata. He has been in prolific goal-scoring form as Mbwana Samata for TP Mazembe. He's got 6 goals in the Champions League, including a hat-trick in the group matches as well against Maghreb Tebuan. Also scored twice against Almerek in the away leg of the semi-finals. As Mazembe booked their place in the final where they'll face Algerian side USM Algeria, or Algiers I should say. Ironically, the winner of this fixture between these two sides will play Algeria, Africa's top-ranked team, in the next round of qualifiers. So it's a tough old draw for them.
It is basically the end of the road. I think it is safe to say so.
I was avoiding saying that.
But what I can tell you is, yes, that might be the case, but an additional game and a game of that magnitude will certainly give whichever team that goes through a level of play that will help them compete better in the other competitions. So, yes, it might be the end of the road, but there's definitely a lot of benefits that will come with that game.
Malawi, as you mentioned, already under pressure. They've made a stuttering start to the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers as well, having lost to Zimbabwe at home in the opening encounters. And so pressure is really starting to build. They lost to, and then they lost to they lost to Malawi, to Zimbabwe rather, and then drew 2-2 away to Swaziland in the most recent match day. Free corner rather for Malawi. It's a great header straight at the keeper.
Well, if you notice, he didn't have power. It's because he had to basically run, take a few steps backwards to create himself a little bit of an angle. And in the process, didn't give him time to generate power on that header.
More like a great chance rather than a great header.
Yeah.
The ball picked him out nicely, but as you said, no power at all in the header, and it was straight at the keeper as well, who I must say has done a fantastic job early on here, Mustafa. He's made a couple of great stops, which has certainly stopped goal-scoring opportunities. So take a look at that header again there, unmarked. It's important to marking there in the box and you leave a man like Msoboya unmarked, asking for trouble.
You can see that both teams are actually struggling to keep that ball down, and they need a second touch or third touch even to finally bring it under total control.
Msoboya with a stray pass there.
Which, of course, playing at such a high intensity, that never gives the player on the ball time to be able to do everything in as far as bring the ball under control, and then from there making a decision which way he needs to pass it to.
Runs out into touch. Well, so far so good for Tanzania, not so good for Malawi. 22 minutes played already, and Malawi have yet to make the breakthrough. They need the early goal. As I said, the longer it continues, the more it will suit Tanzania. Working it wide now to Stanley Sanudi. This is Kapea, Miracle Kapea. Sanudi. Taifa Stars struggling to clear their lines. Giving chase there was Kuwadi. There is Schumacher. Kuwadi.
Well, it could be that maybe he's so pacey. Because that's the only, I'm trying to think, why would somebody be given such a name as such?
Perhaps, yeah. As I said, his parents were admirers of Michael Schumacher. The most unusual name for a Malawian.
Yeah.
Malawi win it back there with Kaira. She picked up by Msowoya. Headed away by Wani. Sanudi. To make headway there is John Banda. Looks to use the width of the field. A bit of frustration as well amongst the crowd. You can hear a bit of murmurs of disapproval. They want the team to show a little bit more urgency. See what Tanzania are doing now, just getting men behind the ball. And in doing so, just took it too long for Msowoya there.
But in doing so, Tanzania basically they're forcing this kind of balls played from a deep position by the Malawian defense to try and get it over the defensive wall, which for me has not quite worked. This one maybe is the closest for Msowoya to have been able to run through. But all the others maybe also are landing a little bit more central, where the two central defenders deals with them very easily.
Free kick, began in Zava. Captains this Malawian side, as I mentioned. Zava making his debut for the national team back in 2010, aged just 17 at the time. Made a promising start as well to his career with the Premier Soccer League side, Wimbledon Celtic. The change of management under Hans Middendorp didn't really have the happiest of times, ended up moving on, and he's recently signed for, at the start of the season, signed for Mpumalanga Black Aces, who are going great guns at the minute in the Premier Soccer League, top of the ABSA Premiership table.
And if you are a regular viewer of the extra time of on SS4, wherever you are in the rest of the continent, you will be able to see the Mpumalanga Black Aces coach, Musine Etrigral, as a guest. So, if you're coming from Malawi just to find out what he's doing with the boys, I think that would be a great opportunity to hear more from him.
This ball runs away. It's going to be thrown to Taifa Stars, who, well, as far as things stand, remind you, they are leading 2-0 on aggregate from the match played in midweek, on Thursday to be precise.
How is then this going to turn out for the coach, Mtawali? He hasn't had a great start. Remember, Patrick Mabedi, another legendary defender for the Malawian side, was also invited, turned it down because of the opportunity to be an assistant to Musine Etrigral at Aces.
Yeah, no, it's a pressure time, I'm afraid, for Mtawali, and one does fancy, you do wonder whether he'll be able to survive if Malawi were to be knocked out here.
What I can tell you, 2 weeks ago, he was here in South Africa. In fact, he came to the Supersport base in Randburg to be able to get some footage for some of the teams that he was going to be playing against, Tanzania particularly, so that he could help prepare him for this game.
Tanzania is certainly not a team, they're certainly a team who are a force, you know. Well, I say a force, but they certainly do pushovers. They recently held Nigeria to a scoreless draw at home in the qualifiers for the Africa Cup of Nations. So they are a team currently on the up. Looking at the record for Malawi so far in 2015, they've really battled. They've got just the one win in the 10 matches that they've played in 2015. But that was a win against Uganda, which came in a friendly at the start of July. Otherwise, it's been a bit of a slog for them. Managed 3 draws and have lost 6 of the 10 matches that they've played in 2015. For their part, the Taifa Stars have fared much better in 2015. Oh, well, no, they haven't fared that much better because they haven't played that many matches. 2015, 5 matches in total, and just the 1 win, which was against just the 2 wins. Both of them came against Tanzania because they beat Tanzania as well early on. In fact, they drew against Tanzania earlier on this year in a friendly. A 1-0 draw that was in Dar es Salaam. Just the 1 win for the Taifa Stars as well in 2015. So 2 teams not in the greatest of form this current year. And it's very difficult to see how either one of them could cause an upset against Algeria in the next round.
Well, I guess what hasn't been said much is the surprise, not necessarily the surprise, is the big result, massive result for a country right down south. The neighboring country to South Africa, Swaziland I'm talking about. A big score away from home, 6-0 against Djibouti.
The mighty Djibouti.
I know what you're trying to say. It doesn't matter. But at this stage, but you've got to consider that Swaziland are actually on top of the group in as far as the nation's qualifiers. So that says a lot about where Swaziland are heading. Remember, even against the COSAFA tournament, they never lost a single game. Then they actually was a point no goal difference is how Madagascar went through to the quarterfinals.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great result away from home for Islam. And you've got to say they are a team that are doing very well this year, 2015. as you say, doing very well in qualifiers. Played against took ball in here. Doing extremely well. Actually came from 2-0 down against Malawi in the last qualifiers. In the last Africa Cup of Nations qualifying round of matches, they came from a goal down, I beg your pardon, to draw two. They twice came from behind against Malawi in that last qualifying match day qualifier, match day 2 of the Nations Cup, and to force a 2-all draw. The goal scorers, by the way, in that game, Gerald Piri Jr. and Sovoya for Malawi.
But I guess their biggest scalp at the moment is that one against Guinea away from home.
Absolutely. Guinea held to a draw by Zimbabwe. Match day 2 away from home. So they're also finding themselves in the spot of bother as far as qualifying for Equatorial Guinea. Gerald Piri Jr. Here comes the Taifa Stars now. Long ball over the top. Oh, that's a great intercept there. You can see the predatory instinct that coming to the fore there of Thomas Ulimwengu. The Mazembe man. 2 goals for him in the Champions League. It's great stuff. The miscommunication between Mzava and Simplex and Tyler.
Big mistake by the goalkeeper. He must have called for it. That's why Mzava didn't bother to attack the ball, but not realizing that the attacking Tanzanian player was in the mix of it. Comes in between the two. Goalkeeper is unable to execute.
Now then, here's Ulimwengu again, racing into the box. And putting in a foot there for the corner is Kaira, Chimango Kaira.
Look at how massive he is. He's big, I mean. You might not be able to see it clearly here, but when he makes contact with any of the defenders, they're feeling his presence all the time.
It's a corner, meantime, for Tanzania. The far post, a little bit heavy there. Well, that's a speculative shot, but wide of the target. But you do get a sense here, William Shongwe, that if Tanzania were to get a goal, that would kill off the tie. If Tanzania were to get a goal, I mean, that would give them a 3-0 lead on aggregate, but more importantly, they'd also have an away goal.
Yep. And how that changes the approach of the game is that from there they'll be able to basically decide to sit, and sometimes sit with the ball, whereby they'll force Malawi to come out, and when that happens, you know, there'll be plenty of options and spaces opening up in the middle and defensively for Malawi, where they can be punished from the counter-attacks.
Hoofed away there from the back by Himit Mkami. Limbigani Mzava. Sovoya. Shot there from range. And that was John Banda. Trying something from a long way out there. Not a bad sort of attempt. They need that guy, more of that sort of thing.
Not bad at all, but what I like is between him and Kuwari, they're able to basically now start winning the second balls, which allow from the so-called high balls, if they win them, regardless of where it falls, as long as Malawi has presence in those areas, I think there's always a chance for that second ball possibility.
Now then, this is a great looking run here. Ball in, but I think he might have overrun that one.
I think for me, he must call back as a set piece for Malawi, because I think he allowed play to continue because they had the advantage, but definitely was foul.
Yes, a foul. That's definitely a foul. Good refereeing from Helder the Cavallo Martins. The referee from Angola playing a nice advantage there. And this has given Malawi a free kick in a very, very promising position there. So Gerald Piri Jr. being told there to wait for the whistle.
He's their set-piece specialist. He takes all the set pieces, corner kicks, anything in that area, whether it's direct.
They need quality service. His last free kick from a similar area, not necessarily position, but from a similar range, was a very poor one, which he hit straight at the wall. They need much better service here, Malawi. They desperately need a goal now. Before, I would fancy they need a goal before the break if they're to make a real match of this. And it comes as a much better service this time. It's going to go behind for a corner. Referee seemed undecided there.
Well taken set piece into the area. Hit with pace this time, differently. Difficult for the defenders and the goalkeeper to deal with.
Goal kick then for Ali Mustafa Mtinge, who hasn't been tested enough, but on a couple of occasions when he has been called upon, he's coming out trumps. I think that's something that will worry Ernest Ntawali, coach of Malawi, is just how little they've worked the keeper. Just over 5 minutes remaining to the break. This is going to go behind for a goal kick. Crowd trying to do their bit to lift the home team. Well, the game hasn't really gotten into any sort of flow, William. It's been a bit scrappy. And cue there from the defender, pressure on the keeper, but that's well under pressure.
What I said earlier on about the condition of the pitch, yes, it looks very even, but when the ball starts bouncing around, it's difficult. And it's the amount of time that it takes for the ball to be brought under control. That makes it scrappy, because the minute you bring it down, already somebody is on top of you. So the nice free-flowing moves with nice combinations is not possible.
Not there. Well, certainly, I don't think that Tanzania will be complaining too much. They'll be happy to have the situation as it is. Still leading by 2-0 on aggregate. So far, of teams that have already booked their places in the next round, we can confirm that Botswana are amongst them. Let's take a look at this now as they cut it back. Oh, it's a great attempt! Wonderful goal! Out of nothing! And that's a beautifully struck goal there. John Banda. That is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Flames, finally igniting, courtesy of that beautiful, took a bit of a deflection, massive deflection actually.
I thought, you know, he must have had a very good vision to have picked up the goalkeeper, that he was a little bit deep, but the deflection explains how the goalkeeper gets beat. I thought as well, he was taking a little bit longer. I mentioned the difficulty to bring this ball under control. But regardless, that is a stunner of a goal. Maybe with the run of play, you could say that Malawi has been trying with no real clear-cut chance.
Touch of good fortune about it, but they'll take it because it's really brought them back into the game. Game on now.
And as well, if you look at the time, it's certainly heading towards where you can start thinking that maybe this is the kind of half they would have loved to have, going into the break with a little bit of an oomph behind you.
Well, spare a thought there for Ali Mustafa, who's done a fantastic job in goal so far. That one, I think, that deflection, taking it beyond his reach. But as I said, they'll take it whichever way it comes, will Malawi. They desperately needed to get a goal before the break, and that's exactly what they've done here. Now they need to tighten up at the back as well, because a goal for Malawi, or for Tanzania, will kill it off. Here they come now, maybe with their tails up. John Banda looking to go on a run.
Being sandwiched between two probably Tanzanian midfielders. But managed to obviously using his power run to get himself through the action.
It's a yellow card for Shah. Francis Shah, or Farid Musa Shah, I should say, becomes the first player to be cautioned.
Chezi tagging.
Was it Shah now or Mongwani?
No, it is Farid Musa Shah.
Now again, here come Malawi. As we almost into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Ball brought in here. Again, now a much better service from Sanudi. Sowoya couldn't guide it onto target.
Something's changed slightly now into the formation of Malawi. Piri, who was sitting alongside Kaira in that center of the midfield, has pushed a little bit forward in the case of the high balls because he's got aerial presence about him. This is what I said about the Malawian direction of trying to win the second balls.
Another caution here for Tanzania. Just 1 minute to be added on at the end of this first half. Still complaining to the referee, just need to, yeah, it's that man Abbas who's been booked. As we approach the half-time break here. Malawi giving themselves a bit of a lifeline here. So referee Martins is...
Tell you, all the players for me had their legs up there. Stats were showing from both sides. But obviously now the momentum is with Malawi. Now look at this.
Yeah, you're right, 6-1 there.
Could we say is it the 12-man factor coming into...
I gotta say the referee's done a decent job thus far. As Forja is penalized for the challenge on that man Ulimwengu. Clear foul. This free kick could be the last bit of action for the first half. Kapombe. And there it is, the whistle for half-time from Elder de Carvalho Martins, our referee from Angola, ending their first half, which ends on a high note for the home team, getting a crucial goal that has really brought them back into this game. It's made it